In his continued efforts to destabilize the peacetime relations and institutions set after World War II, President Trump is trying to normalize a neo-imperialist form of American government with his executive order titled Restoring Names That Honor American Greatness. In the order, he praises the imperialist former President William McKinley, who annexed Puerto Rico, Guam, Hawaii, and the Philippines, and enjoins for the renaming of Denali, the tallest mountain in North America, back to Mount McKinley, before finally decreeing the Gulf of Mexico to be renamed the Gulf of America. Once again making adversaries to America, like Russia and China, who have their own imperial ambitions, very happy indeed, through these decrees of his, to ideologically subvert the current American anti-imperialist government. Let me read some excerpts from Trump's executive order, but before we dive in, if you enjoy this video and want to support the channel, don't forget to click the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. Your support means a lot, and it also helps promote these anti-destabilizing and progressive messages to the YouTube algorithm, which helps its amplification to even more viewers. So I actually couldn't find any videos of President Trump actually signing this executive order, so I thought I would just read the important excerpts from it, particularly the renaming of Denali to Mount McKinley again, and renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Alright, so here's Trump's executive order titled Restoring Names That Honor American Greatness. Section 3, Renaming of Mount McKinley. President William McKinley, the 25th President of the United States, heroically led our nation to victory in the Spanish-American War. Under his leadership, the United States enjoyed rapid economic growth and prosperity, including an expansion of territorial gains for the nation. President McKinley championed tariffs to protect U.S. manufacturing, boost domestic production, and drive U.S. industrialization and global reach to new heights. He was tragically assassinated in an attack on our nation's values and our success, and he should be honored for his steadfast commitment to American greatness. In 1917, the country officially honored President McKinley through the naming of North America's highest peak, yet after nearly a century, President Obama's administration in 2015 stripped the McKinley name from federal nomenclature, an affront to President McKinley's life, his achievements, and his sacrifice. Yeah, how dare he rename a mountain that was named after a imperialist president who annexed territory, who went to war. How dare he? He just had to get in a dig of Obama, you know? Trump and Obama. Alright, this order honors President McKinley for giving his life for our great nation and dutifully recognizes his historic legacy of protecting America's interests and generating enormous wealth for all Americans. Yeah, I'm sure it was for all Americans, totally. In the early 20th century, definitely wasn't like some type of Great Depression that happened because all of the wealth was being concentrated to a select few. Okay, I had to get that bit in. Now on to, wow, the prodigious Gulf of America section. Section 4, Gulf of America. The area formerly known as the Gulf of Mexico has long been an integral asset to our once burgeoning nation and has remained an indelible part of America. The Gulf was a crucial artery for America's early trade and global commerce. It is the largest gulf in the world, and the United States coastline along this remarkable body of water spans over 1,700 miles and contains nearly 160 million acres. Its natural resources and wildlife remain central to America's economy today. The bountiful geology of this basin has made it one of the most prodigious oil and gas regions in the world, providing roughly 14% of our nation's crude oil production and an abundance of natural gas, and consistently driving new and innovative technologies that have allowed us to tap into some of the deepest and richest oil reserves in the world. So yeah, he's obviously talking about mining, drilling for more gas and oil. Completely oblivious to the estimations of the recent LA wildfires being around $250 billion in damage. $250 billion is the estimation of the total damages. And just to give you a little bit of reference, Hurricane Katrina was half that. Remember how we responded to Hurricane Katrina? Look at how we're responding today. They almost immediately, those on the right and the MAGA heads, immediately were like, nope, not climate change, not climate change, can't be. Hurricane Katrina, there was nothing like that. It was immediate, like, everybody united. Those days are over. Because fossil fuels gotta drill more, and there can't be any empathy for, if you're associating climate change with it. Okay. The Gulf is also home to vibrant American fisheries, teeming with snapper, shrimp, grouper, stone crab, and other species, and it is recognized as one of the most productive fisheries in the world, with the second largest volume of commercial fishing landings by region in the nation, contributing millions of dollars to local American economies. The Gulf is also a favored destination for American tourism and recreation activities. Further, the Gulf is a vital region for the multi-billion-dollar U.S. maritime industry, providing some of the largest and most impressive ports in the world. The Gulf will continue to play a pivotal role in shaping America's future and the global economy, and in recognition of this flourishing economic resource and its critical importance to our nation's economy and its people, I am directing that it officially be renamed the Gulf of America. As such, within 30 days of the date of this order, the Secretary of the Interior shall, consistent with 43 U.S.C. 364 through 364F, take all appropriate actions to rename as the Gulf of America, the U.S. continental shelf area bounded on the northeast, north, and northwest by the states of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida, and extending to the seaward boundary with Mexico and Cuba in the area formerly named as the Gulf of Mexico. The Secretary shall subsequently update the GNIS to reflect the renaming of the Gulf and remove all references to the Gulf of Mexico from the GNIS consistent with applicable law. The Board shall provide guidance to ensure all federal references to the Gulf of America, including on agency maps, contracts, and other documents and communications, shall reflect its renaming. I presume he's wanting to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America due to his desire to drill more for oil and gas to appease the fossil fuel oligarchs that control him like a marionette, but it might be too early to tell. Former President McKinley declared war on Spain, which resulted in the significant territorial acquisitions of the Philippines, Puerto Rico, and Guam, before proceeding to sign a resolution annexing Hawaii due to strategic and economic interests. Renaming Denali and the Gulf of Mexico might seem innocuous to most, but I expect Trump is doing this to normalize his imperialist ambitions to the American masses and to the globe, and to satisfy his benefactor, Russian President Vladimir Putin, who played a role in securing Trump's election victories, and benefits from a narrative that positions America as the imperial aggressor, creating a pretext for global conflict. This strategy seeks to destabilize the anti-imperialist ideals central to the American political ethos, while legitimizing Putin's territorial ambitions in former Soviet states along Russia's borders. Furthermore, this rhetoric likely emboldens Chinese President Xi Jinping in his pursuit of reclaiming Taiwan, amplifying the global shift toward imperialist justifications for territorial expansion. I'm sure many Americans would consider the annexation of Hawaii, Puerto Rico, the Philippines, and Guam to be a positive thing, since they weren't the ones to fight in the war with the Spanish to gain these territories. But from a historical perspective, it is unreasonable to expect Trump's imperial ambitions in Panama, Greenland, and Canada not to also come with war. And yeah, Trump lied about bringing an end to war. Imperialism is often a prelude to even more war. So expect the brain-dead MAGA commentators to highlight all of the great aspects of acquiring new resources for mining and drilling, while omitting the likely increase of death of common ordinary Americans who fight for the imperialist president in their avaricious wars to gain them. In my view, Trump, much like infamous rulers throughout history, would likely leverage imperialism and war as tools to maintain his grip on power. By rallying nationalism and uniting people under the banner of the flag, he could distract from domestic crises, suppress political opposition under the guise of national security, and further legitimize authoritarian control. Such actions would create a climate of fear, allowing him to justify repressive measures while pursuing resources from places like Greenland, Panama, or even Canada to bolster the economy and secure his regime's survival. The consequences of these ambitions would push the world deeper into the spiral of conflict and instability. I know, I'm an optimist by nature. This nearly always destabilizes the country in the long term but provides stability in the short term. And since the government is now almost perfectly run by corporate America CEOs who only focus on short-term profits, we shouldn't expect anything less than a Trump administration that does everything to secure the short term at the expense of the future. So President Trump's intent to start his second presidential term with the ideological subversion of his own country to appease the corrupt rulers who helped get him elected is off to quite the fast start. Let's fight it every step of the way, and remember to stay vigilant, fellow freedom fighters.